on the project to drop. And finally, the project is here. Now, he dropped it on an odd night, man. This is technically the last night of the previous week's, sales week. So I'm guessing just based off of the momentum that he's getting from Backdoor, the video that he dropped, that he said, forget it, go ahead, drop the album, because a lot of sources saying that it was leaked different places. Now, I haven't seen that anywhere, but it looks like, man, he's just set to have a good release anyway, man. So after releasing Backdoor, he said, forget it, let me go ahead and release the whole project. And the voice starts off pretty good, man. So the very first joint that we get into is called Redman. Now, Redman is pretty short, and it goes in early on a lot of the stuff people have been thinking about and talking about. Now, Redman is an intro in every classic sense of the word. So from the gate, he goes in, and it's kind of a harmony, but it's upbeat and up tempo. And man, it kind of widens down at the end. Now, the part that's going to have everybody talking are the very last couple of bars where Lil Durk, he says this specifically. He says, they asked me where I'm going to be in 10 years. I said, the feds. They asked me what I'm going to do about blank. He dead. Now, a lot of people online think that blank is for Krump. Now, Mubu Krump was from a whole nother side of the whole Chicago thing. I mean, if you guys aren't familiar with the Chicago drill, look him up. And he passed away in 2018. And a lot of people, though, think that blank is where he said, they asked me what I'm going to do about, and everybody said Quando. A lot of people were saying that online, but I'm not sure if that's accurate. I think what they have here posted as the lyrics is accurate, and he actually said Krump. Now, I don't know if that's related exactly to Mubu Krump or not, but it's pretty convenient, man. It's like it seems like that's the right on target who he's talking about right there. Now, on the very next track, Refugee, he kind of just talks about, his mind state currently, as far as how things are playing out in the streets and playing out in the music game. Like the pressures of being a CEO and the pressures of still being so tightly connected to a lot of guys who are with the street stuff. You know what I mean? It's a good track, man. I ain't gonna lie about that. There's not a lot of alarming bars from that one, but there are a couple of other songs on here that we're gonna get into where, there's gonna be some controversy behind those as well. Now, on the very next track, Death Ain't Easy, man, he talks about a lot of different obstacles this time. He talks about, man, overuse of drugs and things like that, messing around with the wrong type of character of people. And then he also delves into different situations with ops. Like one line specifically, he talks about some of the ops are healthy, but other ops are vegetables. And I'm wondering, was that a shot at none other than Wooski, man? Did he diss Wooski on this joint? Or am I looking too deep into that? Because, I mean, I know Wooski is not, in that type of state. And I know that's a very unpolitically correct term to use, you know what I mean? But it's an interesting line to say the least. And FBG Wooski, he's walking around, he's normal, so maybe I'm just looking a little too deep into that one, so don't hold me to that. But man, for those of you who don't know, FBG Wooski was, man, one of the people who were most against Lil Durk and them back in the day, man. We'll say that much. I mean, it hasn't really even been any online beef between them lately. Like, I think Wooski's pretty much been quiet. But as we get into the next track, the title track of this joint, The Voice, and it's more of the same as far as like talking about his current situation and dealing with success. That plays a large part in this whole release, man, in this whole album, is Lil Durk's transition into a CEO and boss and dealing with success and the pressures that come with the record industry. It's an interesting mix because you think of somebody who's so hot in the game right now, and they're like at the tippy top, and they got a lot of tragic things happening to him. You got his cousin Wooski getting shot. You got King Von getting shot. Man, you got a lot going on when you should be at the best times, the most happy times of your life. It's an interesting mix, and it makes for good parts of the album. And he follows that track up with Backdoor. Now, Backdoor I did a whole video about. We don't have to get all the way into that. But, this is a very good song because, I mean, so much of this that he talks about in Backdoor is going on right now in the music industry, or is alleged to be going on. You got a lot of people in the streets as well who are sliming out their homies, and he just pretty much letting it be known, man, just leave the back door closed, you know what I'm saying? He ain't trying to get backdoored, man. It's all there, man. We get it. Now, the next joint, he's talking about, the song called Still Trapping with King Von is more up-tempo, man, and King Von brings that energy on this song. And I like how they switch over and do each other's ad-libs. A very nice touch on the track, man. Yo, King Von, man, really, really laced this up, man. He has so much potential, it's crazy. Sad situation. Now, the next song, Stay Down, he's got a feature with Young Thug and a feature with Black. Now, Young Thug and Black, man, I almost couldn't tell their voices apart at one point, I'm going to be honest, man, until I really keyed in on the hook. And, man, this is just a nice filler track. I'm going to be real, man. Does it have single potential? I'm not sure because there's a lot of tracks out like Stay Down. But, I mean, I could see them shooting a video and putting this out as a single. All right, now let's get to the track that's got everybody really talking on social media. Free Jamel. Now, Free Jamel. Now, for those of you who don't know, man, YMW Melly, who's incarcerated right now, and he's, basically being charged with the murder of two of his friends, is... he's actually the feature on this song as well. And I guess, man, through 10K management, he's cool with Durk and them. I know YMW Melly and King Von had a couple of joints together. And, they were current, like they hung out because their management was the same. It builds a tight relationship when the management is that close. But a lot of people are like, whoa, we got a song with YMW Melly. And YMW Melly, they talking about free YMW Melly. Because YMW Melly, the name of the song is Free Jamel, and YMW Melly's real name is Jamel Maurice Demons. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, his real last name is Demons. But that has nothing to do with, I guess, what he's being accused of. But it's just an interesting track because, basically they're lobbying for them to free YMW Melly. But at the same time, in the lyrics, it sounds like they're allegedly justifying what took place and some cats trying to backdoor him, man. It's an interesting track. And it's going to be the talk of social media for a while. Now, on the very next track, Misunderstood, you can tell that Lil Durk has found his bag with this harmonic singing / hardcore melodies. Like, dude has really found his bag. And on this album, it just sounds very soulful. Like, a lot of the instruments, like a lot of the piano play, a lot of the back instruments, it sounds like a ode to the streets. Like, it's a very soulful album. I will give him that. And Misunderstood kind of perpetuates that. Now, next, Lil Durk ups the tempo with Not the Same, and then he brings it right back down and gets more soulful again with India Part 3. So, man, it's a constant, roller coaster throughout this album. But, man, it fits. It sounds like an album. It doesn't sound like a mixtape. It sounds like a complete, full album to me. Okay, so then he gets right back into his bag about the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Or I should say he continues that with Coming Clean. So Coming Clean is a very descriptive song for the ladies, man. They're going to love that one. But the next joint, Going Strong, now that is a street joint for real, man. I actually like the beat, the place, everything, man. And his tone on this, man, it's similar to... Backdoor, but it's I like the beat and the instruments in the background. Whoever was mixing this album or was on the production side of this joint, man, they were killing it, especially with the instruments, man. Really, really nice joint. Now, on the next track, Changes, he starts and he builds up talking about him being in a street situation and towers getting pinged and all this, man. It's a lot involved in this track, but then he goes, and when he ends the track, he's dissing somebody specifically. Now, a lot of people are going to say he's dissing one specific rapper, and there's only one rapper in the game I know that would probably spend his last on the lace front, and I'm thinking with that line right there, he's letting you know without even saying the name who he's talking about. So there's going to be a lot of controversy from Changes as well. I'm telling you, this is a well put together album, and Durk is not sparing anybody, man. He's actually going in, man. Now, on Lamborghini Mirrors, he's got his one and only feature from an OTF artist. Like, I expected more people from the OTF album to be on here, but I guess he wanted to space it out and give everybody their time to shine. But Buka 600 is on this joint, and Buka comes with almost the same exact flow as Lil Durk. And you could barely tell them apart, to be honest with you. But it's just another joint where they're talking about street scenarios. And, man, most people will be able to relate with this and the storytelling. All right, so on the final track, to be honest, man, Lil Durk really gets into his singing bag. I'm talking about, and whoever is playing them saxophones in the background, man, hey, they are killing it. They are really, really killing it, man. I really like this joint. This is a very good closer track for the album. Like I said, this album feels complete. A lot of the songs are really short. I'm talking about under 3 minutes or even a little close to 3 minutes. And it flies by. I think it's like only 41 minutes. This is a good album. This is a very good project from Lil Durk. And he addresses pretty much everything you could think about. He gives a shout out to King Von. He's even on the artwork on the very front of the cover. And then he does a Do It For Von hashtag in the back, man. And just letting it be known his homeboy passed away. And I think this is how he's going to find a resolution in that situation. Now, I enjoyed the voice. I think it was a dope album, man. Very complete. I think it's one of Lil Durk's best projects. And, man, hopefully we hear a lot more from him, man, because Lil Durk is in his bag right now. Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.